So for this stance, I have been attacked by the aforementioned. Um, I believe Dylan Moran has said something about me. Um, in fact, it'd be easier to list the people who haven't said nasty things about me. Griff Rhys-Jones is probably one of the few. Richard Ayoade, of course, and Jonathan Ross, all of whom have been paying attention to this issue and understand it in a way that Paul Whitehouse and Charlie Higson are very careful not to. And I say very careful not to because the fact that they're still coming out with this line and they're still saying all this stuff about me means that they're deliberately ignoring what the Cass report found. And if I may remind you, hold on a sec, just to summarize them here, I'm getting my Perplexity to help me out. What are the most shocking revelations of the Cass report? Oh, that's funny. Hold on a sec. Okay, sorry. I had to be a bit more specific. The Cass review also found that ideology was driving the medicine, the protocols that the Tavistock were recommending, and the toxic atmosphere within the Tavistock meant that people could not discuss their worries and their problems with the treatments for fear of being fired. I mean, I think Bill Bailey doesn't have a daughter. Maybe that's it. But I still, he's definitely got a mum. How could you want your mum to live in a world where, you might have carers taking care of her and she won't be able to pick a woman to care for her because they'll say, oh, this is a woman, and send a man who looks a bit like a woman, I don't see how anyone could condemn anyone else to that kind of a life. But these men simply don't seem to care about their mothers, They don't care about these things for some reason. There's something missing in these men. There really, really is. There's something missing. And I just can't figure out what it is. Someone just said they don't want to get cancelled. That's fair enough. But there's a difference between not wanting to get cancelled and going around the country and every time they mention my name, trying to erase me from my own work, as Charlie Higson and Paul Whitehouse are doing, I mean, Bill Bailey was the same. When someone asked him about me, they could easily have said, I don't want to talk about that, as Chris O'Dowd very, very nicely said in one interview, but they never do. They take the chance to just jump on my neck, And again, none of them will tell me what I've done wrong. None of them will tell me where my analysis is wrong. Just once, I'd like them to actually have the guts to call me and tell me what I've missed on this issue. And I think it really is as simple as this. I think they want to keep going to dinner parties. I know I've said this a lot in the past, but I think that they're mates with people like Jordan Gray, the flasher who sang a song about how women were shit and won awards for it. And Channel 4 said it was a beautiful example of a trans body. The bloke takes estrogen to grow his boobs so he can feel them while masturbating. That's the beauty of the trans body when it comes to Jordan Gray. And exposing himself on stage is exactly the same presentation of a fetish that we saw recently, where I shared what's his name? His name has gone out of my head. Oh, Grayson Perry, who went to a children's cancer charity event and had a black dildo sticking out of his dress, and when he was interviewed about his cross-dressing, he said it arouses him to shock people like that, So he made the conscious decision to wear a black dildo and go to a kids' cancer charity, you know? Anyway, sorry. I'm going down the rabbit hole a little bit. Honestly. Yeah, I see questions. You can ask some questions. I'd be happy to answer some. I've always felt that when we get an investigation into this issue, it needs to be very broad. We need to be looking at how the BBC was captured, why the BBC produced I Am Jazz without any investigation into the science behind what they were pushing to work on young children. You know, how did Doctor Who become just a advert for transing kids? You know, someone says, "Hi, Graham. You mentioned." Oh, sorry, no. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. What was I going to say? Yeah, the investigation. You know, we need to ask why the Guardian, why Kath Viner has kind of watched over the bullying of people like Suzanne Moore out of her job. How did she go? How, you know, why was Kath Viner not all over this issue? So how come, like, you know, that's kind of one of the earliest things that happened to me is the Guardian reported Stephanie Hayden reporting me to the police as if it was proof of my guilt and not proof of him being a vexatious con man, which is what he is. Someone says, are you worried about the new Scottish speech law spreading into Ireland? They're going through weird times right now, and I'm afraid they're vulnerable to this too. It's very funny. This looks like a pompadour. Ireland is very funny at the moment. All I see in my feed are fucking Sinn Féiners talking about how great Iran is. So, you know, they're kind of revealing themselves as a bunch of anti-Semitic, you know, we already knew they're misogynists, but they're anti-Semites as well. They're fucking rabid, and it'll be interesting to see if the hate laws come in and these blokes start being delighted about it, because you know, they're the ones that will be in most danger of being censored, you know. Anyway, sorry. What we seem to be fighting now is just a left that driven mad by having no power because of Trump and Brexit, decided to exercise power over their friends and families. You know, the thing of going home at Thanksgiving in America and forcing your family to use they them pronouns for you. It's just a symptom of insanity, a symptom of powerlessness. And it kind of, yeah, I do play games, a lot of games. I haven't been able to play it because I'm in Australia. I haven't been able to play for a while. But it's just a sign of powerlessness. And the only people they can have power over are people on the left, you know. TERFs are, for the most part, left-wing women, you know, left-wing feminists.